Over the course of this video, we've looked at many of the advanced topics that we can use as Drupal themers to really achieve full control over the HTML output of our site. We started with some simple examples, such as modifying this date display in an individual node post to use this calendar widget styled with CSS. We've also looked at examples like overriding the username display to use a profile field rather than the default username. We've spent a fair bit of time looking at theming forms, such as changing our search form to use an image button rather than the default button. In our final example, we wanted to be able to populate the site slogan with a random status update from Twitter using a search term that the administrator can specify. Using the theme settings feature, we were actually able to expose some options for our administrator so they could turn on or turn off whether they wanted to use this feature, as well as selecting the search term to use. Over the course of this video, we've written a lot of PHP code. Let's quickly review what we've done. So we started with template pre-processing so that we can change the list of variables that's sent to our template files. If you recall that these functions all take the form themename underscore preprocess or themename underscore preprocess underscore themehook. In each case, we're going to get an array full of variables that we will pass by reference, and then we can make the changes as necessary to that array. We also looked at theme function overrides, where again we can take any default theme function from Drupal and override it to give a theme-specific version for our theme. We started with the breadcrumb example, where rather than doing the default breadcrumb layout, we were able to override it with our 960 robots breadcrumb and add some settings and some alternate features for the breadcrumb. We also looked at the theme username function to change the output from using the user's name to their profile field for their full name. The username is a good example of a function that uses a whole lot of presentation logic wrapped around a very small amount of output. We also spent a fair amount of time talking about forms in Drupal and got a brief look at Drupal's internal form API, specifically in the context of theming. So we started with overriding some simple attributes for our search theme form, changing our search button into an image button. Then we looked at making changes to the node edit form. In this case, we had to learn how to use the theme registry new in Drupal 6 to add new theme functions that weren't actually provided by Drupal core. We also talked about Drupal render, which is the function that Drupal uses internally to take the form structure array and turn it into the HTML. Finally, we looked at using the theme settings system to expose additional options for our administrators to control some of the various features that our theme wants to implement.
Thank you for joining us on this Lullabot Learning Series DVD. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.